The president declared state of emergency in Rivers State over the political crisis that is ongoing there. Let's jump right into it. While addressing the nation yesterday, President Tinubu declared state of emergency in Rivers State, suspending the governor and the House of Assembly over the political crisis which now turned economical crisis in the state. Let's listen to him.
Hello, Nigerians. Regarding the political crisis in Rivers State, like many of you, I have watched with concern the development with hope that the parties involved will allow good sense to prevail at the soonest. But all that hope borne out without any solution to the crisis. With the crisis persisting, there's no way democratic governance, which we all fought and worked for over the years, can thrive in a way that will redound to the benefit of the good people of the state. The state has been at a standstill since the crisis started, with the good people of the state not being able to have access to the dividend of democracy. Made personal interventions between the contending parties for a peaceful resolution of this crisis, but my efforts have been largely ignored by the parties to the crisis. I'm also aware that many well-meaning Nigerians, leaders of thought, and patriotic groups have also intervened at various times with the best of intentions to resolve the matter, but all their efforts were also to no avail. There's no government in Rivers State, and I quote. The above pronouncement came after a catalog of judicial findings of constitutional breaches against Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Going forward in their judgment, and having found and held that 27 members of the House who had allegedly deflected, and I quote, are still valid members of Rivers State House of Assembly and cannot be prevented from participating in proceedings of that House by the 8th respondent, that is the governor, in cohort with 4 members, and unquote. The Supreme Court then made some orders to restore the state to immediate constitutional democracy. These orders include the immediate passing of an appropriation bill by the Rivers State House of Assembly, which up to now has not been facilitated. Some militants had threatened fire and brimstone against their perceived enemies of the governor, who has up to now not disowned them. Apart from that, both the House and the governor have not been able to work together. Both of them do not realize that they are in office to work together for the peace and good governance of the state. The latest security report made available to me show that between yesterday and today, there have been disturbing incidents of vandalization of pipelines by some militants without governor taking any action to curtail them. I have, of course, given stand order to the security agencies to ensure safety of lives of good people of Rivers State and the oil pipelines. With all this and many more, no good and responsible president will stand by and allow the grave situation to continue without taking remedial steps prescribed by the Constitution to address the situation in the state, which no doubt requires extraordinary measures to restore good governance, peace, order, and security. In these circumstances, having soberly reflected on and evaluated the political situation in Rivers State, and the governor and deputy governor of Rivers State, having failed to make a request to me as president to issue this proclamation as required by Section 305, Paragraph 5 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, it has become inevitably compelling for me to invoke the provision of the Section 305 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, to declare a state of emergency in Rivers State with effect from today, 18th March, year 2025, and I so do. By this declaration, the governor of Rivers State, Mr. Similaye Fubara, his deputy, Mrs. Ngozi Odu, and all elected members of the House of Assembly state are hereby suspended for an initial period of 6 months. In the meantime, I hereby nominate Vice Admiral Invoked Ibas, retired, as administrator to take charge of the affairs of the state and the interests of the good people of Rivers State. For the avoidance of doubt, this declaration does not affect the judicial arm of Rivers State, which shall continue to function in accordance with their constitutional mandate. The administrator will not make any new laws. He will, however, be free to formulate regulations and may be found necessary to do his job, but such regulations will need to be considered and approved by the Federal Executive Council and promoted by the President for the state.
His efforts to resolve the political crisis failed. It turned a deaf ear to the crisis in the state. Now the crisis is going out of hand, involving the militant now destroying oil facilities, bombing pipelines. Now the federal government now is not interested in declaring state of emergency. Is it because of the economic value of the state? Because Rivers State is a very rich oil producing state. Is that the reason why now the federal government is not interested? Because if they start destroying oil pipeline, which will bring down the production of oil in Nigeria, and that will affect our economy, which Nigeria do not need now with all the economic crisis that we're facing. So I think that the president is only interested in the economic interest of that state for their personal gain. Because for 1 year now, you cannot tell me that you could not resolve a political differences between a sitting governor and a sitting minister who is your friend and who works for you as well. The budget of the state had not been passed for 2025, and the allocation to that state was suspended. In all of this, the people of the state are the one in the receiving end, because for the past 1 year, I don't think that governor has been able to achieve a single project. If 2025 budget has not been passed and allocation has been stopped for coming to the state, so definitely that state is ungovernable and has no money to do anything. And the people of the state is in the receiving end. So my question is, why do the president allow the situation to get to this extent? He would have stepped in because of the people of the state to make sure that they are not in the receiving end, that they voted a governor and the governor delivered on his promises. So the arrangement that the governor and his godfather Wike has should not make the state suffer. And the president should not also take a side, because in all this, it's like the president is taking the side of Wike. Because you're suspending the governor, and Wike is also a minister. We know what happened. Wike caused most of these problems. We see him celebrating, talking boldly about all that is happening in the state, and that he will make sure that state is ungovernable, which he achieved. And today that state is now in the state of emergency. So my question is the president only interested in the economic of the state that will favor the federal government and not the political crisis? Or is he avoiding the political crisis because of his favoritism to Wike and his friendship over the governor and the people of Rivers State? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe.